The Milwaukee Bucks just absolutely dominated last night against LeBron and the Lakers, as they have now won 4 straight games and find themselves just a half game back from the first seeded Miami Heat. This marked the 3rd straight game where the Bucks offense exploded, scoring more than 130 points as a team, and last night was no different, as practically everyone was firing on all cylinders. This game was a complete one-sided affair, as Giannis and the Bucks took the Lakers to the point where the game was seemingly over in the first half, and what the Bucks have proved to me over the last couple of weeks is they truly have the potential to go back-to-back this year and contend for a championship with an Eastern Conference that is wide open, with just 5 games separating the 1st and the 6th seed. The Lakers attempted to put together a 4th quarter comeback that was eventually terminated by many of the fantastic Bucks performances to close out the game, and some of you may be thinking that this was just a Lakers team that is seriously underperforming this season, yet anytime you go out there and dominate a duo like Anthony Davis and LeBron James, you have to give yourself credit for your performance. Also, only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, so if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. Enjoy the video. It all started with Giannis, as he came into this game with a mission to be unstoppable, and that is exactly what Giannis accomplished. As he finished this game with 44 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists with 2 blocks and a steal, as he shot an insane 85% from the field on 20 attempts, hit both of his 2 3-point attempts, and finished the game with a plus-minus of 23 on the night. And on top of this, Giannis started off the game perfectly, as he led the Bucks to a 22-point lead in the first half, where he hit all 8 of his shot attempts, as 2 of those were his 2 made threes on the night. And what's even crazier is that all of those statistics from Giannis last night was done in just 35 minutes of play, once again making these numbers look incredible. It's almost impossible to picture a more perfect game for the 2-time MVP, as this has been something of the norm for him, as he continues to make a case on why he deserves to win his 3rd ever MVP at just 27 years of age. And the thing is for him is the fact that he could very well come away with this award, especially if the Bucks continue to climb in the standings, as the other 2 guys that he's up against are in 5th and 6th place in their respective conferences in Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. What all 3 of these guys have been able to do thus far this season has been phenomenal, and honestly all deserve all of the credit for each of them to be considered for this award. And this is also why I believe that the record that their team is going to hold once the playoffs begin is going to play a massive role on who takes home the MVP trophy. On this season, Giannis is averaging numbers that are very similar to both his MVP seasons, and if he were to win this award this season, he would be joining one of the most exclusive lists of all-time players with 3 or more MVPs in their career, as he would then be with 8 other Hall of Famers and future Hall of Famers, as LeBron is still playing, yet there's no question he's going to be one. On this list, there is Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, Moses Malone, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Jordan, and of course LeBron. Him being within the conversation of these guys would instantly force everyone to look at Giannis as one of the most dominant players of all time, and I can say that confidently because he would still be just 27 years old with more than half of his career left ahead of him. Obviously, there are many things that would need to go in his favor for him to win the award, especially with how well the other top candidates have been all season, but there's no question that Giannis is playing like he can come away with this award. It almost doesn't matter who he's up against or who he's playing alongside, as at this point in his career, he should be talked about being one of the best finishers the NBA has ever seen. And oh boy, if he keeps connecting on his jump shots like he has been recently, the rest of the teams in the NBA should be absolutely terrified, as this could very well end up with Giannis holding up the Larry O.B. in June, with the Bucks going back to back, as there would be practically no way to stop the Greek Freak. And what is absolutely crazy to see is the fact that Giannis, even though he probably could win games by himself, has had a fantastic set of pieces around him that are going to play massive roles down the stretch heading into the playoffs. And that supporting cast has to start with his all-star teammate in Chris Middleton, who obviously has been playing at a level to be an all-star this season, despite some people thinking others deserve his spot over him. Middleton has had a season that's full with ups and downs, with these last 5 games being one of the worst stretches for him thus far, yet Middleton no doubt has the talent to turn things around on this team, as he has been a proven sidekick to Giannis during his time dominating the NBA. These two all-stars are matched by two guys that are having some of the most slept on seasons this year in Bobby Portis and Jrue Holiday, as both of these guys are arguably having the best seasons of their careers, and this couldn't be a more perfect time to help complete this team, to help them attempt to be back-to-back NBA champions. Starting with Jrue, who almost racked up a triple-double of his own last night, as he had 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists, with 2 steals and a block, while shooting an efficient 58% from the field, as he continues to show just how good of a pickup he was for this team. He's shown to have the ability to be relied upon to be one of the main playmakers on the Bucks to set up his teammates for success, and most importantly, he is the team's best perimeter defender, which has and will continue to be such a positive, as this team can just continue to allow Jrue to try and lock up other teams' best guards. He works out so well on this team because the Bucks can allow him to focus on what he does best, which is on the defensive end, having a guy like Giannis that can absolutely carry this team offensively whenever he wants to. Not to mention the fact that his numbers on the season are up there with some of the best in his career, as he averages 18 points a game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, with 1.5 steals, and above all of this, his shooting numbers are his brightest stats, as he shoots above 50% from the field and almost 40% from 3, which are both the best splits of his career. And then this team also has Bobby Portis, who has been given a much larger role in this team, as the Bucks are extremely light at the center position since Brook Lopez has been sidelined with an injury after playing just 1 game this season. With that increased role has resulted in without a doubt the best season of Portis' career, and he had another big night last night as he scored 23 points, grabbing 7 rebounds and hitting 5 threes on the night in only 9 attempts, where this shooting stroke has been the case all season, as he shoots 42.7% from 3 on the year. The jump Portis has made this season to fill in as this team's starting center has been crucial, as like I mentioned earlier, this position is one that is light in players without Lopez being in the lineup. But this has allowed the team to have a run with DeMarcus Cousins earlier in the season before cutting him, and are now giving a shot to Greg Monroe, who has recently had a spell with the Bucks earlier in his career. Lastly, this roster is then filled out with guys like Grayson Allen, who has done his job as the team's starting shooting guard, splitting minutes with Pat Connaughton and DiVincenzo, as all 3 of these guys are solid on both sides of the floor, providing sparks when needed off the bench, but most importantly, have just done their jobs as role players surrounding the rest of the stars in this team. From top to bottom, this team is built to make another run in the playoffs, and are shockingly extremely underrated by the NBA media, as not many people are talking about this team like they should be. This team has a complete superstar, dominant on both sides of the ball, who is playing at a level to potentially take home his 3rd MVP award of his career, another all-star alongside him, a center who can stretch the floor in Portis, an incredibly slept on Jrue Holiday, who is still up there being one of the best defenders in the league, and then on top of all of this team has already proved, being the reigning NBA champs, that they have what it takes to execute at a high level when the brightest of lights are on, and do not be shocked if this team gets hot at the right time and is on pace to do it again. The Milwaukee Bucks are surging, and it's time for everyone to begin to take notice of this team, as they will be looking to extend their streak to 5 games in a finals rematch against the Phoenix Suns in their next game. That's going to be all for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, if you did, be sure to hit that like button to help this video get shared along YouTube's algorithm, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more NBA content like this that I will be posting multiple times per week. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great night.